School's out, the sun is out, and let's be honest, screens are on. Is your family prepared for a safe, fun, and stress-free summer online and offline? Stick around for your ultimate family digital toolkit for the summer holidays. Trust me, you'll want this before the chaos begins, okay? Good day and welcome back to the Family Cyber Tips Weekly. I'm Lawrence, your host, and today we're unpacking your summer holiday family digital toolkit. And I've bugged you all week, reminding you that this is really somewhere you need to be, okay? And that's because while summer means fun, it also means more screen time. Important, okay? So let's look at some areas. We're going to look at several today, bit more than normal, but ultimately you will get to see where I'm going with this, okay? So the first thing that you have to do is set the summer digital rules, okay? Sit down as a family and agree on your summer screen time agreement. And the things that you can do is decide together how much gaming you are going to be doing. Do that before you enter the plane, okay, as a family. And once you agree those terms, you find that you have a more peaceful time together. Another thing you have to decide, and I'm going to be highlighting the together thing. Do it together. Make those decisions together, okay? How much YouTube or TikTok are you going to be binging on during the holiday? Agree that, you know? And when I say agree, write it down, all right? Kids generally will flow with you when things are, dynamic. So how much YouTube or TikTok time are we spending on this holiday? How much gaming? Notice again, it's the together thing. How do we balance screen time with outdoor play? And this is a crucial area. So you're balancing outdoor play with chores. Yes, there are chores on holidays. Some of us, when we go on holidays, we do self-catering, okay? Who's going to wash the plates? Who is going to take the rubbish to the assigned dustbin? Family activities. All those things have to be agreed, okay? And that will help you balance the screen time and outdoor play or general family engagement. And where possible, use parental control tools. After all, they're there, okay? You can even use, this is supposed to be a fun point. Use a kitchen timer to help you. Most ovens have this timer. You can say, okay, 30 minutes up, or you just set it just like you would do at home. Really, really important that you get that right. And I'll give you a sample rule. Let's see if I can get one on screen. Well, you just write it up. No screens before 10 a.m. Okay? None. 0. None before 10 a.m. And you find that the lying is rewarding. You refresh your bodies after a long time, and all screens are off by 7 p.m. And of course, that's if there's no family movie night booked, okay? 7 p.m. So 10 a.m., nothing before, and 7 p.m., nothing after, unless there's something that you've agreed as a family. These are crucial points. Crucial points. And this will work across the families who have younger children, because they're more compliant. When the children are a lot older, then it's difficult to get these things rolled out. But keep your holiday time fun and rewarding. Okay, that's an example that you can use and just build on that. All right, let's look at a second area, and that's safety check for devices. If you're just joining, we're unwrapping or unpacking the toolkit, the digital toolkit, something that you have to do before you travel this summer. Okay, we're on the second point where we're doing a safety check for all devices, and this is so important. Okay, you may not find the value until this happens to you, and it can rob you of all the joy that a holiday normally brings. Okay, the first safety check on your device is update them. Update all your devices with updates that are outstanding, and that your devices that we're speaking about are phones, tablets, laptops, gaming consoles. Update them all. Okay, very crucial. There could be a game that you want to play that requires an update and you don't have Wi-Fi or data to download it, and that will frustrate you and your children no end. So just update all devices before you leave home. Okay, sometimes you don't have enough power to do it, so do it at home where there's abundant power, abundant data. All that is so important. So update all devices before you leave home. Second, turn on parental controls. Okay, the free ones that you all know: Apple Screen Time and Google Family Link. PlayStation has its own. Roblox, yes, Roblox has its own parental controls. Those settings, mom, dad, they're there. Go in there. If you have any issue or problems getting it, reach out to me via the comments. Very important. Make sure you turn parental controls on. All right, just like you would do if you were at home. There's no point holding back because the holiday is still your family. All right. A third will be enable safe search. Enable safe search on your browsers. And this is a Google feature that keeps all the bad stuff out. By bad, I mean inappropriate content. Keeps it all out and allows you enjoy, stress-free, porn-free results that will be returned for your kids. Really important you enable it, okay? On all your browsers, YouTube and app stores, make sure you enable it, okay? Another area before we leave this alone will be review privacy settings on apps. Make sure that they're as strong and as tight as they are usually at home. There's no point relaxing them. They must be the same. All right. On all your apps like TikTok, Instagram, Discord, and yes, you guessed it, Roblox. All right. Make sure you enable and review those privacy settings that they are appropriate for the holiday that you're going for. All right. Very important. So those are safety checks for all your devices before you travel this summer. I'd like to take time to welcome those who are with us. Ume, you're saying God eyebrows. I don't know whether that's a compliment, but anything associated with God, I'm excited, okay? So we've just dealt with the safety check for devices. Let's look at another area, okay? While I have your attention, very important, all right? Travel smart and be cyber safe, okay? These are things that are crucial. I have this, most of this you'll find, and you can do this when the slide or the carousel brings up a picture. I have all this information in like a little picture, so you can download it and look at it to remind yourself. Of course, watch the video. That may even be better. All right. So travel smart and be cyber safe. Really important that you do that. What am I talking about? Avoid public Wi-Fi. We have homed in on this as best as possible. The reason why you avoid it, I didn't say don't use it, avoid it if you can, is because whilst on holiday, you have rogues who are looking to defraud, to mess up your holiday, and they could be advertising public Wi-Fi that is full of malware aiming to do you harm. So if you can avoid public Wi-Fi, use mobile data instead. And we've talked about this on many videos. Or better still, or as they say, better yet, enable a VPN, okay? And I shared a free VPN that Apple has. So if you have an iPhone, go and watch that video, enable it before you travel. This will afford you secure browsing, okay? Really, really important, all right? A second thing that you should do to keep you cyber safe is set up eSIMs. On the new phones, they have what's called an eSIM, so you don't actually need a SIM card, okay? There's no need to hunt for Wi-Fi. eSIMs will give you local or international data securely. Perfect for road trips or travel anywhere abroad. So it's important that you know this, which hence the reason why we're letting you know that it is available. Most modern phones have eSIMs, which you can enable and use it as a data point. Okay? Really crucial that you do that and you have a seamless trip, because you have data. Okay? No need for the public data, or rather public Wi-Fi. All right? Lock every device. Lock every device with a strong PIN. Really important. Every device has to be locked with a secure or strong PIN. Just want to do something very quick because I am having, let's see. Okay. Yeah. So enable every device that you have. Make sure that it has a strong PIN, fingerprint where possible, or Face ID. Lock it all up. Okay. Make it incredibly difficult for the rogue to get at you, okay? It's not a time to leave it all open because you're away. No way, okay? Another thing you should do is enable Find My Device on all phones and tablets. This is so important. So important. I know the rogues have ways to frustrate that, but enable it. You never know. You never know. Find My Device is on all iPhones. I know that there's an Android equivalent. Make sure you enable it so that if you lose your phone, which many often do on holidays, you can find your way back to your device as you would if you lost it back home. Okay? So enable it on all phones and tablets. Now, this next point is so crucial. Honestly, I feel you should pay me. Okay? Well, rather than pay me with money, pay me with a like, okay? At this point, just like the video if you're getting value. Power banks. Power banks. They are a must on holidays. Now, I know that it's tricky because of this whole, you can't travel with a battery and all that. You can travel with batteries if you check them in. You just can't use them in the hold, okay? So check in your power banks so that you are allowed to use it. And then when you get to your destination, bring it out. You will thank me later. Today, just thank me with a like if you're consuming this information now, okay? So there are a must on holidays, power banks. A dead phone means no GPS, no calls, and no way to use safety features. So make sure that every family member carries one. If you have to buy power banks for the whole family so that everyone has theirs, yes, they might give you 1 or 2 full charges, but important that you have them because they'll come in handy, okay? Very handy. And the other thing that I find it useful for is if you go abroad and they take light, there's no electricity and all the lights are off. With your power bank, you have light, at your disposal. The last point on this, because that is taking, or rather this is taking slightly longer, is teach kids. Teach them, okay? Teach them, educate them, remind them of all the things that you taught them back home that holidays doesn't mean that you forget your senses back home. They need to remain discerning. They need to remain wise. No chatting with strangers online, even when bored at airports or in hotels. These are big no-nos, okay? All right, we've exhausted that somewhat. So let's go to the next area. Okay, and that's build a summer fun and learning toolkit. Build it up, okay? And this is a summer learning toolkit. Make sure that you don't make tech boring because you're abroad. There are fun and educational apps that you can use whilst on holiday that will keep kids busy. Duolingo. I've heard about Duolingo, and this is a language learning app. So imagine you go to Spain and you're learning how to speak Spanish. You go to Italy, you're learning how to speak Italian. These things come in handy, and you do it in a fun way. They have basic learning and they have in-depth learning. So the basic learning will certainly get you through most shops, ice cream shops. Can I have an ice cream? Might be something you want the kids to say in that language. And you find that if you make an attempt to learn, the language of the region that you're at, they cooperate with you more. You've taken time and they respect that. So Duolingo is one that we recommend. Another one is, of course, is Minecraft Education or Scratch Junior. These are educational apps that the kids still have to go back to school. You can't leave their holiday brain, or bring the holiday brain back home. Yes, they have to unwind. And this is why the Minecraft Education or Scratch Junior, they're very subtle. It's not too engaging. It's relaxing. It's fun. It's coding and creativity. Just something to relax them or get them remembering that they are still students after all. A Bible app for kids will not be out of place. That's one that will help relaxation. And this is just to keep them going. You will wish that they don't have to, but kids will always want tech, okay? So we're recommending tech that will help. Bible app for kids. Tocomel, it's one that we recommend. It's a safe email app for kids. You're going to do anything, any learning at all on holiday, this will be one that we'll recommend. And then you have family bonding apps like Kahoot, Caribou. Kahoot is a family quiz app that everyone can enjoy over, after dinner. If you're eating in, everyone just sits and do things together, but you're doing Kahoot, and that should keep everyone sweet. Caribou, video calls with activities, You also have Together Family Journal, daily reflections. Kids go out, they take time to journal, come back, and you take stock. These things go a long way, okay? And these are just things that you can do whilst on holiday. While you're on holiday, you can still learn. It's not out of place, because believe me, when you've done all the rides and all that, there's nothing more to do, and then you still have 3 days left. Wow, it will get boring very quickly, especially if you've run out of money. So it's important to get things like the tech learning, what we're calling a summer learning toolkit, to get you across the downtime or the quieter times that may exist, okay? Another area that we're going to look at is digital wellness and what I'm terming keep the balance. So yes, you're on holiday. Doesn't mean that you forget the tech etiquette. It's important that you make device-free zones at the dinner table, bedrooms, and family outings. Those don't suddenly lose their place because you have just noted something. 1 second. Yeah, they don't just lose their place because you're on holiday. There's still device-free zones. Maintain that. Set up a charging station outside bedrooms so that kids actually do go to bed when they ought to. Okay, you've got to keep that up. One thing that parents do that frustrate them later is whilst they're on holiday, they let everyone loose. And like everything, if they get too loose, it becomes difficult to get back to the status quo when they return. That's why kids generally are so miserable when they return back home, because they've been so excited doing things. And honestly, believe me, I'm promoting, downtime. But I'm saying that if you're weaning kids off tech, for example, you do it. But because they're going to come back full on again when they come back to the country, back home, then you've got to gradually get them in there. It's a bit like the thing we talk about light, blue light. If they're consuming too much blue light and you expect them to go to sleep the moment it's 8 o'clock, it's not going to happen because the body can't unwind that quickly. Similarly, and I believe it's like for like, similarly, if you have a situation where kids have been holidaying and doing all those things that they've been doing, there has to be a way to rein it all back in so that you gradually get back to normal. So you don't have holiday lag. That's what I'm terming it, is my own. All right. So set up a charging station outside bedroom so that they can wind down as normal as they would do at home. Okay. Model healthy habits. All right. Model healthy habits. It's important that you do that too. If adults unplug, kids will follow suit. Important. Teach mindfulness. Pause, breathe, and know when to log off. These things are things that are important. They help maintain digital balance and digital wellness. Crucial that you continue this whilst you're on holiday. Okay? All right, we're going to try and bring this. Travel checklist. Very important. You're about to travel. If you've spent all this time with me, this is the bingo. This is the crucial bit. What do you carry with you as you leave your home? Okay? So it's a quick tech travel checklist. The first thing that you have to have in your backpack is a power bank. And make sure that it's fully charged. Okay? Put that in. We're talking about a tech travel checklist. I'm not talking about your passports and all that. That's totally different. Okay? Tech travel checklist. A power bank, fully charged. eSIM installed or extra mobile data applied to your phone accordingly. Now, we talked about VPN. Make sure that you've installed the VPN. It's not something you install and you're just using, because I would definitely not say install the VPN and then travel. You've not used it before. That might mess you up because you may not know how to, get it done. So if you know about a VPN and you've used a VPN, make sure that that's ready to go. All right? Very important. Make sure you have your charging cables and travel adapters in your backpack, okay, or whatever it is you're using to carry your tech. Important too. All right? Screen cleaners or wipes. When you go on holiday, there's a lot of sweat, a lot of it. There's a lot of dirt, a lot of dust. So make sure that you have screen cleaners or wipes. This will help with your phone. It will help with everything, really. Clean all that mess that you're accumulating whilst on holiday. Make sure it's in there. They have very cheap ones, local stores or Amazon. Just get one or two. It just protects. Very important that you do that, okay? A protective case. This is what we are believing will get you safely to and from your holiday destination, okay? Make sure that this is in your backpack. So this is a tech travel checklist, things that you must have in your backpack. You said power banks charged, eSIM installed or extra mobile data, a VPN if you've already installed one, make sure that it's ready, up to date, charging cables and travel adapters, screen cleaners or wipes, and protective cases, okay? Whew. That's been long, but it's been well worth it. I did say that it's a toolkit. You don't have toolkits that are 3 minutes. Talking about them with 3 minutes long, which will get this to be a short. No, this is a detailed video. You go in, look at it, keep coming back, and make sure that if you can't remember, just play it whilst you're packing. Okay. That's important that you take this to heart. Take heed. Honestly, you thank me. Like I said, you will thank me later. All right. This, in a nutshell, is your complete summer holiday. Summer holiday or summer holiday family digital toolkit. And I pray that it was helpful. Share it with another parent before chaos hits. Smash that like button if this has been of value to you. Of course, hit the subscribe button if you've not already done so. We need you to be a part of this family.